What is good, guys? Welcome to another episode of The
Creator Show.
The Creator Show. As you can see, guys, we have some super...
Simba wants for a Simba.
We have some very special guests. First of all, I want to welcome...
Simba.
I want to welcome Simba on the show. He is the newest addition to the family. Say hello, Sim. Oh, he can't talk. Have you trained him to talk yet?
Not yet. We're trying.
I'm trying to get Svenja on
the
show. She didn't want to. She was too busy today. So, I want to introduce you to the show. How long is it since you've been on the show?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Lucy, and I think I came on the show beginning of 2020, before.
Yeah, 2020. Okay,
So
yeah,
long ago.
before
Seems like
all
a
that
lifetime
happened.
ago. Yeah.
Wow, this
Lifetimes
feels
ago.
like I can't even remember you.
It
being
feels like, yeah,
in here
anything like
Ages ago.
pre-COVID feels
Yeah.
like another lifetime ago.
Exactly.
And to Lucy's right, we have
me.
Hi, Miss
Hi.
Kaina. How are you,
Yes.
Kaina?
Very good.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you
for
for
bringing
having
the
me.
pups. Pleasure.
Yes, it's like a farm right now.
Right.
We've got Faithy here and Simba over there.
And in front of me we have the one, the only.
Intro, get ready.
The mighty.
Say something. Simba. It's your turn, Simba.
Namaste,
Namaste, everybody.
I think he's shy. And we have Master Shri Akash.
Namaste.
I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more of you, Lucy, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a
Gives you that
feeling
feeling.
You have that feeling
I have
too?
that feeling too. Ever since yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
like, wouldn't it be nice if Lucy was around every single
For
day?
sure.
No, Lucy, she calls this area Spain. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, for some reason, she calls this place Spain.
I'm
She told
moving
us-
to Spain. That's the
She
plan.
doesn't realize that this is Spain. She's already in Spain.
She's
Wow.
in
Just
Spain.
Yeah.
that's
bending
the sun.
reality.
There's the sun.
It
got
just
one,
came
two,
out for
three.
you.
So many suns.
Just tell Jamie, Jamie, there's a slight change in details.
Yeah, just minor details.
Minor details. The weather's a bit different. Yeah.
Yeah, but I always love coming up here. I always
sure.
and I always will.
Yes.
Next time it'll
That's
be in
good.
your jet plane, private jet plane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
manifesting the
Yeah.
private jet.
for sure. For sure. So
It
like,
was a good gig yesterday.
it was.
So good.
It was really
You-
So
fun.
Very
good.
gig.
Outperformed everyone.
Yeah. Nico and I were
smashed it.
backstage, just everything
That's her
you
humble
said.
smile there. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I know I did, but you know. Don't
That's
say
a smile.
Thanks.
No, yeah.
Thanks. What do you say when
Nico
people say
and I
that to you?
were backstage just cracking up the whole time.
Oh,
And
good.
just like, oh my god, that was so good. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that was so funny. It's like, how did she
Yeah.
do that?
So good.
It's amazing.
Do you know?
Really
One
good.
time I was speaking on stage with my mentor, my speaker mentor, and it was his gig. It was a huge crowd, maybe about 1,000 people or something like that. Then he was speaking first, and I went to speak afterwards. And when I spoke afterwards, everyone was in hysterics. Everyone was laughing. And then at the end, my mentor went back on stage and said, "Oh, what's your shares? Anybody got any shares?" and things like that. And then somebody said, "Wow, you have done so well. You have trained your students so well. Your student has become better than you." I was like off stage, and I was looking at my mentor's face, and I was like, "Shit, what am I supposed to do?" You know?
Yeah.
I wanna do that. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Don't say that. You know. Yesterday, I had a bit of that moment. It was like when she went on, I was like, "Shit, she just stole my show."
She completely stole the show. Incredible.
And then it's kind of like, whoa, that's good, huh? It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's pretty weird, isn't it, doing the whole show to just a camera
Yeah.
and some projector
Screens.
screens. Like,
Yeah.
it was nice to hear that you guys were laughing upstairs, but I didn't know you were laughing. I didn't know anyone was laughing. It's just these screens where you can, like, all that people can do is just type in the chat. It's so different to having an actual
Lol.
crowd.
lol.
Yes.
If
I
you are
think
laughing, type
LOL.
lol, please.
Yeah. Smashed
But
it.
I think you get used to it for sure. You get used to it.
Right.
Like when lockdown first happened and we did all the events on the screen, and it was like I felt exactly the same because obviously we're used to live events and
Yeah.
you have reactions.
Mm.
Say
Yeah.
yes. Now it's like say yes.
Silence.
So, but you get used to it. And you start feeling a different energy. Now it's come to a point where it's become like it seems normal.
Yeah,
right?
it's
I'm
second
sure for
nature.
you it's probably
Yeah,
like
for
it seems
sure.
normal.
That's
now.
all I know for speaking when I'm going to go in front of people.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
whoa,
right.
Oh,
They
yeah.
said
Different
something.
You've only
quiet. Come on,
spoken
Don't actually say yes.
don't actually say it.
Just type it.
Just type it. Everyone take your phone out.
Just be silent and wave your hands in the air.
So what's next, Lucy? Are you partnering with us?
I haven't signed the contract yet.
But wasn't your advice to everyone on stage yesterday just say
say
yes
and do it
and do it anyway? Isn't that what you
Figure it
have
out later.
Yes,
shared?
I
That
am
you've
an
been doing
action
this
taker.
for the past
I
18
hear
months.
that. I hear the
Practice what you preach.
hypocrisy. No, I'm very excited about this new venture.
That's good. So for those of you who don't know, Lucy's going to be one of our speakers here. She's going to be teaching some real kick-ass stuff.
Yeah.
And she's an extremely funny comedian of a speaker
Yes,
with
she
a
is.
lot of knowledge and wisdom behind her.
Pen drop.
And she often drops the mic.
And leaves it there.
Even with the head mic, she still drops the mic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with my Britney mic.
Yeah.
I just did with what I could with the board pen.
It's good you dropped that, yeah.
It
Yeah,
was
If
you
you
know, I
dropped the
don't
mic, I
think-
wouldn't be that happy.
I know, I was thinking like, I don't know.
£700. Pick it back up now.
Make
I
sure
don't
it's
know how
okay.
comfortable I'd be with dropping an actual mic for that exact reason. Especially
no,
if it's not mine.
No, that is that time. Yeah, that time when I said last night during the dinner when I dropped the mic. Like I was thinking, shit, £700. Like
What
in
did I
that
just do?
moment, it was like, yeah, it feels right.
Yeah.
Drop it, and then I heard the, boom, and I was like,
Just keep walking.
Whoops, keep
Keep
walking.
walking.
Commit.
And then once they leave the show, it's like, quickly test the mic. Does it still work?
Lucy, do you find that because you've been super active on YouTube, you can call yourself a YouTuber
I
now?
can technically call myself a YouTuber
That's
now.
awesome.
Yeah.
Do you find that has had an impact in how comfortable you are? For example, when you jumped on stage, you just smashed it. You were surfing that wave. You felt so comfortable. Do you think that having been a YouTube presence or on camera a lot, do you think that might have helped you?
For sure. I mean,
Yeah.
every time I press record on a YouTube channel, on a YouTube video, it's another practice session, isn't it? So, like, if you were to add it up, it would probably be thousands of hours of practicing speaking in front of a camera, watching myself back and being like, don't really like that,
Yeah.
which is the best way for me to learn. I love
For
watching
sure.
myself back and being like, why do I look so angry? I
Yeah.
wasn't angry, or, you know, so...
Wow.
Yeah, for sure. And since lockdown, you know, doing so many Zoom calls every day, as well as the YouTube videos, it does just get easier, like with anything. I asked you last night, didn't I, about do you still get nervous in front of a big event? Because I was very nervous before going on stage yesterday. Just more because of what you would think than what the hundreds of people on the Zoom call would think.
It's that one presence which
Yeah.
makes a big difference. Yeah, for
Because
sure.
I hear your feedback louder than anyone else's.
Yeah.
So that was more what I was nervous about. But I can imagine that just with repetition, it would just get easier and easier. Like with how Zoom calls were scary once upon a time. YouTube videos were scary once upon a time, and now they're not. So yeah, just practice, isn't it?
I'm going to start a YouTube channel.
You totally,
I so want
you'd
to.
be great at it.
I know. I want to do the music thing. Do you have any advice? Music or someone else?
Well, what's your goal? Like, do you want to grow a big following? Do you want to be known for a particular thing?
Yeah, music. Yeah.
Okay.
Music and inspiring people.
Well, I mean, if we're looking at like viral hacking and looking at how to grow your number of subscribers quickly, you have to give people what they're looking for.
For sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
For sure.
what are people going to be typing into the search bar of YouTube? Because I think they say it's the second biggest search engine, right? Or even if you type something into Google,
It goes straight,
YouTube results will be up there.
For sure.
So maybe if you were to create a music-based one, do a combination of your own stuff and covers,
Yeah, it'd have to
because
be, yeah,
people
for
search for
sure.
songs and then yours will come up.
Yeah.
Like, I think what my dad did, because he's looking at doing a similar thing, and so he searched for like the 10 biggest songs of 2019 or 2020, and those will be like the most searched songs that people are typing into YouTube. And then you do all of those. All it takes is for one of your covers to rank quite highly. That one could get 1.5 million views or something, and then
that's it.
then people discover your music that you actually want them to really discover. What do you think?
I think that's a very valid point. You know, I don't know if you've noticed this, Lucy, is that, and a lot of people would tell me beforehand, but being that perfectionist mind, you still want to make everything perfect, and you think, oh my God, this is the hit single, you know?
Yeah.
And it's so unpredictable. It's like literally like the one you probably did half-assed and on your iPhone, and suddenly it's like, huh? Why has that got 100k views? You know, it's like it just pops out from nowhere, and it's not even like, let's say for example, sometimes it's like you'll upload it and it's like, oh, only 2k views or something like that, and then it'll be like 8 months later, then suddenly it's like, what? Why is that one at 50 something k? You know, it like they just they catch on like that.
Yeah.
So I think that sometimes like not overthinking it too much in terms of, you know, this one is going to be the perfect one, that one's going to be perfect one, I think this one's really going to be the hit. Really, all the production pieces, I mean, you've seen all the pieces that I write and I think, oh my God, this is the kick-ass one. Actually, none of those have trended. Like all those pieces where I'm so proud of, and whenever I show anybody, everyone's like, oh my God, that's so amazing. None. I've got 0 of those that have trended. Like they'll have 15k or 20k views or something.
Interesting.
And then it's just well, I see it as tags and title and thumbnail. It's kind of, I guess, it's weird in a way.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it doesn't matter how kick-ass I'm going to produce this content, a tag, a title, and
That's what makes it. Would
and
you
a
say
thumbnail
that's-
is going to trump it, you know?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like so that's how I feel about it. So I think now when I'm creating, I don't obviously I know what trends, so I have an idea of what trends, but I kind of throw everything out there. Some I put more effort, some I put less effort, but I don't think too much about it, and then just I know that it'll just be random.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
But
that
if I
would make it easier as well, right?
Hey.
To me, it seems like if you think about it that way, it would take off the pressure of every video you make.
Well, I think the way you're doing it is very good.
My
Like, well,
vlogs.
she's just filming anything. It don't
Yeah.
matter. There's this Dutch vlogger. What's her name?
Monica Geuse.
Yeah. So she's modeling her right now. She does like 40-minute, 1-hour vlogs. When I'm watching it, I'm just like, why does anybody want to watch that? Like it's like, oh, I'm brushing my hair. Oh, I'm drying my hair. Okay, I'm gonna go and buy some fruits. And it's like,
It literally is.
okay, I'm gonna pick up this bag. Oh, what's inside this bag? And then it's just random. Like every day, it's just like, okay, so I'm doing my makeup, and then it's not even teaching them. It's just like, I'm doing my makeup. You can just watch me, you know. So everything's just watching them, and it's like, wow, like people sit there for an hour or just watching other people's lives. But that is how audience is.
True.
I
And
watched yours, the first one. Literally, I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it's like, yeah, but even your one is, I find it is more interesting than some people's vlogs. But those vlogs work.
Yeah.
So sometimes I think that just pick up your phone and just show everything, just put it out there, and it will be the randomest thing. It'll be because one of them, you had a thumbnail where Simba was in,
Yeah.
and suddenly it
Yeah.
got 10,000 clicks, and suddenly you get 1,000 subscribers off the back of it,
Just
and it's
that.
like, oh, wow.
Yeah, it's very
Didn't even
random.
try on that one. He was just sleeping in my arms, and you weren't even trying, you
Yeah.
didn't think
Do
that
you-
was the viral thing.
Do you think in a law of attraction perspective that those are always the ones where you actually don't try, you don't really...
Let go of outcome. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
those are the ones that
Detachment
just
from
like, huh?
outcome.
Yeah.
Well, I actually didn't try.
Yeah.
But those are the ones that
Yeah.
will skyrocket.
So I think that, yeah. Actually, it directly corresponds to law of attraction, because I'm also not saying, if you do random, if you are just like, everything's going to be random, then it's not going to work either. It's like what
Like
Lucy
you
was
said,
teaching yesterday.
Yeah.
There is
Nothing is ever random.
He does not think it random. Or whatever.
Yeah.
What was that teaching? She
I
forgot on the
forget.
slide.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's all out of my head.
So it's not about
Nothing.
random, because I have an idea that this thumbnail could possibly trend. I have an idea, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we all do. You see something cute, you see something sexy, you see something like Lucy on a
Weird.
pole, for example. Like
It
it's
helps.
got a high chance of trending, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like That's why I said she should start teaching law of attraction on the pole. 'Cause
Yeah.
That
You
would
should.
work. That would work
Exactly.
so
While you're
badass.
upside down, just
Yeah.
think about it.
Just don't fall.
Doing your
Just-
circles.
Yeah, because there's one particular move I can do where I'm gripped with my thighs and my head is down. So my head is like floating that much off the floor. I did a happy birthday message for a friend like that. I got Jamie to hold the camera upside down.
Yeah.
So it looks like I'm just like, hi.
And then he
just
flipped it.
yeah, and then he zoomed out and flipped it 180 and then you can see that I'm actually suspended
That's
upside
awesome.
down. So yeah, maybe I'll do that kind of thing with law of attraction.
Try it. Try it. It'll go
Pole
viral.
dancing funnel.
Hey?
You ready?
Yeah.
Pole dancing funnel. Cake funnel.
Oh yeah. Yeah, maybe we do that instead of the YouTube thing.
It can just be my intro music. You just put a pole on stage and
You
People
just
can-
run up, swing on it.
yeah, people can tune
Yeah.
in for that part or the
next-
training.
Then if we do that for next Thrive event, it won't go from 600 people to 300 people.
No. We'll be
Say,
getting
okay,
more.
So this is what's going to happen at the end.
Just have the pole
have a
on the
pole,
stage from the
that's
very
it.
beginning and people
Yeah.
are like, when's it going
What
to
is
get
this?
used?
Yeah. How long have you been doing that?
About 2 years.
Nice.
Yeah, love it.
I bet it's so tough
Oh,
at the start,
it
right?
is.
Because it's all core and upper body strength.
It's yeah, it
Everything,
requires
actually.
so much strength, and then
Yeah.
on top of that, it burns your skin like crazy. You know, like Chinese burn style, all the friction on your skin.
So is that just a case of
Oh.
like conditioning? You're just getting over it.
yeah, like
going.
your
Until-
nerve endings just give up after a while. Do you know what I mean? Like they really complain.
Sounds very
That's
healthy.
Well, you know,
Sounds
like
sexy.
you would relate. Like the first time you pluck your eyebrows, it's
Oh, right,
so
right.
painful, and
Mm.
then after a while, your
Yeah,
nerve
yeah,
endings
yeah.
just give up.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
They open
They're
the
like,
All
all
right,
right,
it's the
yeah,
same.
the pain is still
We're
gonna
not
come.
dying here. Like,
Here we go again.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So it's like that with the skin as well.
Mm.
Like this part of the skin is really sensitive, and there's a few holds where you literally hold your entire body weight by gripping that flesh on the pole.
Oh, wow.
And like first few times I did it, I'd have this huge bruise. Now I can do it, no bruise. So I don't know what the difference is apart from
They give
just-
No, you do it.
Giving
well, it's like yoga. It's the same. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. You first. I used to get bruises everywhere. And
Yeah,
it
yeah.
Just doesn't
better
Elbow
happen.
stand
technique
and
as
all
well,
that.
maybe as well.
Gets used to
Well,
it.
I think the nerve endings break, like you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Pole dancing's
gone.
tough. When you go upside down on here as well.
You've
when
tried
you
it?
Clamp, yeah.
For real.
I pole dance every day.
We should both do on stage.
Guys.
So when you
Yeah,
on
that would
here,
be great.
I found this hard
The
upside
thighs.
down. This
yeah.
one is like pulling like this.
I did not know this about you.
Oh, you learn something new every day.
Yes.
Now Kane is
think-
thinking, which pole do you use? Use
The banister or what?
It's on the balcony.
Your house, you could put a fireman's pole from like the top floor down to
Oh,
the bottom.
yeah.
How cool would that be?
That'd be
That
cool.
would be cool. Then you'd be done
Yeah,
downstairs
from
so
your
quickly.
guys' balcony to.
To the garden
Yeah.
or
To the
something.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, we could.
Maybe I'm going to install that in my future home.
Yeah.
Like build the whole house around a pole from the top floor to the bottom.
That'd be cool.
And just dance your way down.
Yeah. And to get extra
morning.
workout, just
Good
climb all the way up the pole.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
He's
cool.
fast asleep
He's gone.
Yeah.
He's so
totally gone.
cute.
because he wasn't from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m.
That's-
this morning.
Yes. I
Like,
think it was even
Having him
later.
is actually like having a
7.
baby. Like it's like
It
feels
really
like
is, yeah. All night long, crying,
Crazy.
crying.
And then Lucy didn't hear a thing. She just
Yeah,
slept.
I asked
way-
her. I
way
asked her this
through.
morning. Did you hear him? It's like, oh, it's Simba crying, no? It's like, wow, he was in our ears
you know
the
we're
whole
talking
night.
about you.
Oh, it's what they say. Like when it's your own baby, it wakes you up more, right? So
Yeah.
maybe that's
Yeah,
it.
maybe.
Well, he isn't really my own baby.
You'd be amazed though. Like I
Really?
watched this. I watched this super interesting
Feels like it.
documentary about, like
Soul connection.
Mm.
well,
Yeah.
uh,
How it's
about
meant to
like
be.
what happens in the human brain when you first get a baby.
Mm.
Obviously, they knew that there was, you know, hormonal connections from a mother. She's
Mm.
literally just given birth. So what are all of the changes in her brain?
Mm.
But then they did tests on what changes happen in the father's brain.
Mm.
And then they did the test on a gay adoptive couple, 2 men, and they had the exact same like
Brain response.
hormonal flare-ups in terms of all of the instincts that came up, the
Mm.
extra anxiety
Mm.
and responsibility
Yeah.
in the exact same way. So it was less biological and more like a physical instinct. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if
It's
it's
crazy, isn't it?
genetically your
that
child
energy.
or not.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it
that's
actually
true.
feels like
Exactly.
your child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not even just observing us. is observing Faith.
Yes.
Faith
noticed
suddenly,
that.
she was a baby, she was a puppy the
Now
day
she's
before we got him.
Yeah.
The moment we picked up him, we went home, we dropped him. She doesn't do the puppy stuff anymore.
Yeah,
Like
it's
suddenly
so
she's like, she needs to look after, needs to be, you know,
Yeah.
needs to be really mature around him. She doesn't
Yeah.
do the stupid things that she did the day before.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like
And her
it-
facial expressions as well.
yeah,
It's
Wow.
like she
Everything.
she just
She's
randomly took
matured,
on
like,
a
all-
mother role
yeah,
when
yeah,
she's
yeah.
not the mother, you know.
She's just
She's
grown
still
up
a puppy
overnight.
as well. Yeah,
Insane,
it's,
isn't
it's
it?
funny.
interesting. I say nature is everything as it is so beautiful, and humans don't allow people to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
They try to condition too much. Kids try
sure.
to tell them what to do, what not to do. You can't do this. You can do this. Don't try this. You know. But when you look at nature, if I look at our kids out in Kenya, you have like a 3-year-old carrying a baby, feeding the baby, making sure the baby's not playing with a knife on the ground and things like that. You know, like that's the 3-year-old looking after the baby. If you look at in our civilized, modernized countries, it's like you got 9-year-olds who still don't have a freaking clue, you know, about
How to
anything,
do
you know,
anything.
and
Yeah.
True.
like they need to be so looked after.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And even where our orphanages, we always have newborns, so we have a baby, and then they just leave the baby to just free roam, just outside, just crawl wherever you want to do. You know, if you're eating the grass, then so be it. Then do whatever you do, and they're all healthy and everything. There's nothing wrong, you know, and they know what to stay away from.
Yeah.
Natural instinct,
Of course.
a human instinct.
Of course.
And then when you see these puppies, it's like they know as well. You just let them; they know where to go. They know. They just have that sense.
Yeah.
And it's funny how humans
Interfere.
condition and interfere with that.
Yeah.
Then,
big time.
while interfering with that, with a protective mind, is disabling
Completely.
them
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and making them feel like they are not capable by themselves because they are used to that type of
Yeah.
protection. You know.
It's quite damaging to the development.
But I guess it's tough from a parent perspective because protection is
Yeah.
obviously, you know, it's always going to be striking that balance of how
Yeah.
much do I allow and how much do I need to protect, and there will always be that
Yeah,
striking that balance.
it's a fine line. Like, I would still probably want to make sure my child didn't run out into a road. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd want to teach them of road safety.
Yeah.
There are those kind of things, but
Yeah.
then that's probably, I mean, I'm not a parent yet, but I can
Yeah.
imagine that must be one of the hardest things, is to where to teach them that independence
Yeah.
and at what age to, you know,
Yeah,
allow more and more freedom of everything.
yeah,
That must be the hardest part, the transition phase, you know?
yeah. So a kid growing up gets to, let's say, age 15, 16, hangs around with his friends, starts smoking. What do you say? Your kid. What do you say?
Guess just educate them on it not being healthy, but it's their decisions, their life.
What do you
So-
guys say?
I'd
Same
put the
thing?
facts, the cards on the table. Say, look, this is what's happened to some people who smoke. This is what's also happened to some people who smoked. That's what can happen. Make your decision. Carry on.
So similar,
Yeah, carry
same.
on.
Yeah, I'd let them know that, you know, one cigarette contains 40,000 toxic chemicals. I'd make it super clear and super unattractive, because something like smoking a cigarette has got the kind of like culturally cool symbolism, and yet what it actually is so weird when you think
Yeah.
about it. But at the same time, you know, like I've tried smoking here and there. Like I feel like if you say you're forbidden and like you're never allowed to touch one, it's got that like forbidden fruit temptation.
For sure.
Yeah,
Whereas to
exactly.
try it and then realize
yeah.
that, this is not something
yeah.
for me,
That's what happened to
is
me.
more important, I think, to, you know.
Yeah. Like my parents, my mum was like, don't. They even lied about it, you know, this can happen. And I was just like, bullshit, I'm going to do it, you know. And then I wanted to do it more because, like you say, the more you try and contain energy, it's going to rebel even more, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's once you cross that line, that's where, like you say, rebellion happens, you know, and that's,
Yeah.
it's just, it kicks off a chain of events.
I think I'd want to find a way to, you know, to not, like, if you make it a really forbidden thing, then your child keeps it a secret from you maybe, or hides
Exactly.
it from you. I'd
Yeah.
much rather be able to have open conversations about it
Yeah.
and know that I'm there for them either way. But, it would be hard just to say, just don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
difficult.
then I
But,
guess
like, nothing's wrong. All of those approaches have their benefits, right? To have that firm hand and be like, no, we don't do that. It's
I think
clear
there's
boundaries.
there's at the end of the day, there is nature and then there is nurture. And I think that both will always be in play. And so sometimes it's almost like, I know in some interviews I've had before, especially when mum's been around or dad's been around, people will say, what parenting tips do you guys have? Because she's become very successful, you know, and when I hear that question, I already think that's interesting, because me, my brother and my two sisters, we turned out very differently. So, but they parented the same. And I was actually speaking about this yesterday with Maria on a Instagram live, and I was saying that it's interesting how people see things, because yesterday, actually it was after your show. So from certain students, we received different messages that come in. One bunch of students would be like, oh my God, and actually inclusive of Kaina also said this yesterday to me, which is, oh my God, Lucie was so good. I want to be like her. I want to do what she can do. I want to practice to be like that. So you get one bunch who are like, oh my God, she's amazing. I want to do that.
Inspired.
Then you got some other people's response, which was like, she's so good at it. Like, she should just take care of everything. Like, why would I like, like, just get her to do it. Like,
Yeah.
like I've got like almost like I stand no chance. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, she should teach law of attraction. She should teach that. She should do like,
Right.
what? And then you get the other side, which is like, suddenly they see you, and then suddenly they lose all hope in like, there's no chance for me now.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly the same when it comes to like, when we talk about parenting, it's the same thing. It's the way my dad pushed. It was very harsh management. You're going to screw up. You got no qualifications. Look at your cousin Joe, all straight A's. What are you going to do with your life? My brother can be hurt by it. Dad doesn't love me. I'm like, I'll show you, Dad. Like it's
Two
Yeah.
different
Two different
responses.
ways.
two different responses, and I think that it will always be that way. So it's sometimes it's tough, because yes, nurturing is a part of it, but there's also that soul nature, that soul desire, that calling, and you know how people respond to things.
So I wonder if it's possible within one household to treat each child differently based on how you know they learn and respond best. But like that goes against the sort of like being fair and one approach and one rule for everything. But if you know that one of your children will do the washing up if you tell them to do it this way, the other child will do their chores if you approach it in the completely opposite way.
I think that's down to awareness. As long as the opportunities you give them are equal,
Yeah.
and the attention and the amount of, let's say, perceived
care.
love, care, and attention
Yeah.
is equal. But obviously, everyone's got, for example, I would respond differently than my brother would to certain words or certain treatment. So it's having that awareness of what works for you, what works for you, what works for you. What doesn't work, I'm not even going to bother with it. Because what works for you will create a clean cycle of energy.
But if you were, because I don't have any brothers and sisters, so this is very interesting for me. If your parents did treat you in one way and your siblings in another way, with your best interests at heart, because they know that that's how each of you would thrive, could that be quite easily seen by you as like unfair
easy.
treatment?
It's extremely easy. It's for that to happen. I'm saying like, it's very common in brothers and sisters to feel jealousy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is the jealousy, like this, it isn't even about brothers and sisters. It's just about humans, like everyone, whenever they see, even our students. It's like, why is master favoring this person and not giving me this opportunity? You see, it's like everybody sees everything like that.
True.
But some person can also see it. Like, let's say, for example, let's say if we're all here and everybody's learning the same thing, and I say, okay, Lucie, you get the opportunity to speak. And then it's like, Nico, not quite yet, and Hassan, not quite yet. Imagine that, right? Now, Nico can be like, okay, that's fair, because obviously I need to practice, and he knows what's right for me now, so thank you very much. And then it could be that Hassan's like, that's not fair. But both of them are experiencing the same thing. So what's coming from me is the same. Then it's only from their perception. It's only from their lens. So while we say, okay, from a parent standpoint, we can say, okay, well, I'm going to treat everyone differently, and what's how they're going to respond. Actually, how they're going to respond, that is, again, down to nature. The nature of how they respond, how they decide to respond.
True.
You know? And it's tough, you know? Like, people who don't get it, like, people who are wearing that lens, it's very tough. Like, you will try. They'll say, oh, but it's not fair. You'll try one way. So you say, it is fair, honey. It's okay, you know, because think of it this way. You'll make it one day, and maybe you're better at other things. So you're using that soft approach. And using that soft approach, and then they're like, okay, you kind of convince them. But again, is that soft approach helping them is another question. Because now they're like, they need you to, this is what you were talking about this morning, is that they need you to do that every single time. Like somebody who says, Lucie's so good, like, I stand no chance. I can say, you can do it, just keep working at it. And then after a while, it's kind of, after I say that, it's kind of like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Next time, it's the same thing. It hits the same. But who's going to be there always to, it's okay.
Soft coding.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
It's okay. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It's okay. Don't worry. There comes a time where that person needs to have their own ability to have that strength. They need to have that strength. They can't always have somebody covering it up and sugarcoating it and making sure that you feel good about it. So that way, soft way, not necessarily will work. But hard way doesn't. Hard way. So some people, like I said, hard management for me worked. I was stubborn. I was wanting to prove you wrong, that no, I can do it. You tell me I can't do it, I'll show you I can do it. You know, I think that's the attitude. But to some people, you tell me I can't do it, and it's like, why is he saying that about me?
Maybe it's because it's true. Maybe I'm useless.
And then just spirals. So you try soft, you try hard, and suddenly you're like, oh my God, I'm trying to save you from all directions. And then I think comes the question of, why do we try so hard? And I think that balance will always be struck when we're saying, when we start recognizing, am I being affected by it? Meaning, am I getting frustrated in trying to help you? And the moment I am, then it's destructive. Because if I can't, love starts on self-love, right? If I can't look after myself, how can I look after anybody else?
Yeah.
So
But I think we can continue that journey of helping somebody else and trying to help somebody else as long as we are still at peace. It's not affecting us at all, which is extremely tough. Because after a while, right, we can all, do this a few times.
Yeah.
After a few times, it's like, this is a lot of work, And it will always be toughest for everybody. And I believe everybody can relate to some situation like this when it comes to your closest family members and people you love, and you care for.
So
And
what
I
would
think-
your advice be in that situation then?
But I think there comes to that point where you just have to, if it's becoming destructive and it's affecting you, then that is the power of detaching and letting go. But it's letting go doesn't mean you no longer love. letting go is just, what is.
Yeah. Allow it to be like that.
So like there's probably a lot of like parents who find it difficult to connect with their child because of these things, that they don't know how to speak to them or actually get them to understand things. So what would you say is then the best way to actually be able to communicate with your child?
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's exactly what we just said there. I think it's tough.
Just hope that one day they'll get it.
Well, apparently, according to Lucy's video, hope is a word that you cannot use in Law of
That's true.
Attraction.
That's
Hoping
true.
is not a
Hoping is not a process.
So I don't think you can hope.
Yeah.
So just let it be.
Yeah, it's tough. Usually parents who aren't able to communicate with their children are people who, because, I mean, we all have an inner child, and it's people that have completely disconnected, forgotten about what it was. It seems that most adults, they get to adulthood and they forget that they have a past where they were a baby, where they were a child, teenager, going through all that. They forget that they were once the child with, parent problems. And as soon as you disconnect from that, you disconnect from yourself. And if you disconnected from self, then how are you able to even see that as a child, as someone who needs nature and nurture? And once you don't have that perspective, you just see it as someone who's annoying me because he's not doing what I want them to do, as like an object rather than a being, an object of objection, actually.
I guess in a way it's also like not, because, I don't know, I think about it in a way that maybe your child isn't actually yours, really, in ways, because
It isn't.
it's a soul that came to this planet. You've been blessed to try to raise it up as good as you can, but at one point it is itself, its own person. So if you try to keep that ownership of that child to make it do what you want it to do, then I guess it's just getting to that realization of it's not yours to own or yours to control, and maybe just take yourself out of the perspective, like out of the situation from a different perspective, and just see, okay, this situation is a bit challenging, but it's interesting. It's came here as a test, as something that to see how strong am I, how am I going to react to this, how am I going to deal with this, and just see how it will unfold itself.
Yeah.
I think.
Do you know it's really interesting because this conversation went from so it went from a very human, it's a human problem.
Yeah.
At first, which is just parenting and how to deal with them. So that's on what the average human consciousness is, to now on a higher level of consciousness, to saying, hey, it's here, but it doesn't necessarily say it's mine. It's just part of what is,
Yeah.
And then another level of consciousness is a lot of what we're writing in the new book, the Winning the Human Game, is that it's not real. Like, it's not even real. And it is purely a game. What decides what type of soul and what type of nature comes into your path is the challenge. And are you challenged by the challenge? Most people are. If you are, you will not pass the test. You will not win the game. So there's two ways to look at this challenge now. One way is the challenge is there. I'll allow it to be. That's okay, but it's not affecting me, so I keep moving. The second way is the challenge is there. I'm going to enjoy every moment of trying to break this challenge down. Almost like what Lucy was saying before. Like, you see, you have 4 kids. Okay, let me play as high-level psychology game as I can to try and break it up so that you guys can't even feel the jealousy. You can't even feel the imbalance and unfairness to you guys. I can fool you so that you think it's fair. But at the same time, I'm using a different approach for every single one of you and settling that balance. That is the game I choose to play, and I'm going to enjoy every thrill. It's like a science experiment.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
didn't work. Let's try another one. And it gives you a buzz every time. Oh, I think that worked. And you're enjoying the whole process. So that is also enjoying the game. The worst thing is, like I said, is the average human is challenged by challenges. That becomes the problem. Why is this happening? I hate this. You know, it shouldn't be happening. So I think
True.
you can't take things too seriously. One nice topic we were talking about yesterday on the Instagram was we're saying about when everybody wants perfection. In job, I don't like my job because they go to another job. I don't like this job either because I start a venture. I don't like this because it doesn't give me this, it doesn't give me that. They go into a relationship. I don't like this relationship because she does this, that. They find another relationship. I don't like this relationship because she does something else that I don't like. The only thing is, and we say how you do anything is how you do everything. The way your lens is programmed right now is you are programmed to spot the problems.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just spotting problems. That's all. You're spotting problems, you're spotting challenges, and it seems like, why is these challenges happening? Everything should be perfect. Like, what does perfect mean? Perfect, what people's idea of perfect is that it should be, maybe if happy, positive, like everywhere I look is smile. Maybe that is in their mind somehow. I don't know what created it or what made people think that will be perfection, but I think that's probably, they think they're seeking for that. But how I see perfection is the balance or imbalance. That is perfection. Perfection is night and day. Perfection is good and bad. Perfection is challenge and solution. Like perfection is
vibration.
How it is how everything is. That is perfect. This world is perfection. And I think what people don't realize is like, why can we not play this game, this human game we're playing right now, live it like we play a game. If I give you a game, a console, where there was zero challenge. Okay, press X and it smiles. And just jump up and down and you keep smiling. Keep pressing X. That's all. How long will you play the game for?
Yeah.
Yes, Faith, you play the game a lot, huh?
Comes to the whole idea of being a conscious creator.
So it's like, hold on X. That's it, okay?
Yeah.
How long will you play the game for? You'll be like, hey, this is pointless. Come on.
Yeah.
But that's perfection. That's what you wanted, no? You wanted happy days every day. You wanted no problems. You wanted nothing going wrong. That's what you wanted, no? That's what you said? Oh, no. I just don't like this either. Oh, you don't even like positivity alone. So what do you want? You see, they don't realize the challenges, the problems, the things. Play it like a game. When I see challenges, ooh.
He's back.
Here we go.
Give this one a shot, you know? Let's see what turns out here, you know? Oh, that's pretty cool. Never seen this one before. Some things are more messed up, you know? And it's really messed up. It's like, oh, this one's extremely messed up. Look at this. Let's see what we can figure out here, you know? And I think people should approach it. If they approach it like the game, they will get through the game very happily, very easily.
For sure.
On the flip side, my favorite game growing up was playing The Sims and using all of the cheat codes so that I just would
unlimited
type like
money.
Rosebud or Motherload and you get $500,000 Simoleon just like that. So that's the other side of things. Some people thrive off the challenges in a video game, but maybe there's also some people who just like using all the cheat codes
Yeah.
and having
Yeah,
the
but-
easy way to the win.
Yeah, but the cheat code is still getting over challenges.
Yeah.
True.
If there was no challenge, you would not enjoy cheat codes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Is that what's the point in cheat code? Like, I don't even want the cheat code. That you would lose purpose also, you see. So it's the same. It's funny you talk about cheat codes because that's
She will continue.
our back chapter of the book
I
is the
thought-
cheat codes.
yeah, I
We're talking about
Ah.
that.
Something about
It's
that.
called
Cheat
cheat
codes of
codes at the
life.
back. Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
How is the book going?
It's going well. We got a
Yeah.
few months to write still. We
Nice.
got a few months to
Do you
write.
meet with Maria daily?
Every day, yeah. We talk very
Wow.
deep. That's why
I'm sure.
now on these shows, everything that's coming from us is is
Yeah.
fresh. We
That's
go into
awesome.
very deep conversations. Mm.
That's awesome. Very cool.
Everyone's
think-
going to be thinking for the next hour.
Yeah.
What just happened there? My life.
We
No,
went from
it's
YouTube
fun, I think.
to Spain to Simba.
But I
Simba's
think
enjoying the sleep.
it's a fun thing because, and it takes a lot of practice, I think, because obviously when a challenge happens, the instant human reaction wouldn't be like,
The
okay, let's
conditioned
find the
human reaction,
solution.
I reckon.
It's like getting dwelled into the challenge, and it's just the more conscious you get, like
Yeah.
it's just really programming yourself and making yourself like actually see it in a different way instead of seeing it as a challenge, like what you and Svenja said on stage as well, seeing it as a blessing and just seeing it as, okay, how can I solve it in the best way, see it as a
People have no
solution.
idea. Everybody thinks that their challenge is the biggest challenge in the world. They
Yeah.
all think that.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Oh, you don't know what I'm going through."
Mm.
Like, for real, like there's somebody out there right now going through sex trafficking, and that's happening. There's somebody
Yeah.
right now being killed right now in this
Being
moment. They're being
tortured,
killed. They're being
yeah.
tortured.
And they're being strong.
And now it's like,
Yeah.
doing
yeah, but my
everything.
ex left me. You what? Sorry, what happened?
Get on with it.
You know, oh, I can't believe it. You know, they said this about me. Huh? It's
Perspective.
Yeah.
everything is perspective. Bigger challenges will happen for bigger people. If you're facing some big challenge out there, you're a big person. You know, the universe is saying, "Hey, I
You're
believe in
ready
you.
for this challenge.
I think you have the capacity."
Like this.
You know, so this is a blessing.
Mm.
Universe is looking at you and saying, "Hey," it always is this. Let's take, for example, a money challenge. Somebody's money challenge is, oh, I owe 2,000 to my credit cards. They're totally depressed right now. There will be people out there right now, I don't know what to do. I can't believe it. 2,000. You know? And then Elon Musk throws a thing through his window and then loses 500 million in a day. You get what I'm saying? It's just like these things, they happen. You know?
Yeah.
Back then, before Donald Trump was doing what he's doing right now, he's in business days, becomes a millionaire, loses all his money.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, goes bankrupt, comes back again.
Yeah.
Like those and it's like influences as well. You'll be getting more of this as well.
Yay.
Like, I don't, have you found any negative comments on your videos?
A couple. Yeah, like sometimes one.
In that moment of reading it, does it kind of?
Yeah, sure, it hits me. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, well, there's more coming.
Yeah.
It's
It's coming.
it's always going to be that balance thing, you know, and people stick onto that negativity so much, and it's like, look, if you are, I always say to people, they're like, oh, but my aunt said this about me and it really upset me. You try being an influencer. It's probably the biggest thing you could you try. People all see the celebrity side of it. Oh, it's so cool. Yeah, but if you can't deal with your aunt right now, you try to deal with 1,000 comments a day, which is coming in with hate messages. Right? I don't know if I get 1,000. I know that I get thousands of messages a day, and I'm guessing there probably will be 500 to 1,000, which is like, this is not real. You know.
Yeah.
You look so ugly, you know, what's wrong with you? Why do you look that way? Why do you dress that way? What do you know, it's everything, you know, why do you eat like that? You know, like people will just judge everything.
Yeah.
So if you can't deal with your aunt right now, you try being an influencer. I don't know if you guys seen the news on Ellen recently. Have you seen all this stuff on
No.
Ellen? No?
Something's gone down. I haven't seen
Oh.
exactly what.
But it's you know, this is how humans are stupid. I said, bro, this is probably the biggest quote every show. I say this once, right? You're gonna need to cut them all and put a little thing together at the end of the year. Humans are stupid.
Akashina thinks about
He
humans.
thinks all humans are stupid. No, humans are stupid. Humans are sheep. You know, people, because people, something went down where they said people were abusing people on the Ellen show, and some of the directors and some of the cast and some of the people behind the scenes were whatever. Suddenly, like, the whole show has gone down. Like, she's
For real?
lost the Ellen show, everything, and
No.
she's not going out in public, and everyone's attacking her. You just type Ellen and boom, all over the internet. Like, I want to put it into perspective for everybody who's listening who knows anything about this. This is a message for everybody. It's like, stop being a sheep. You don't know what happened. You don't know. Just because some bigger names had a bad experience of what happened at the show and they spoke about it, so then all stupid humans decide to follow on a sheep and oh my God, I can't believe she's so evil. She's a witch. She's this, she's that. She's part of Illuminati. She's trying to kill people. She eats babies. She's like literally whole of internet. And I'll say this, right? This is a human being. Everybody's attacking here. Cyberbullying.
Yeah.
Like, take responsibility. Yeah. If and this happens a lot. People who are on internet, because it's tough. You have 1 million people, because she reaches out so many millions of people. You try have 1 million people all around the world message you every single day, telling you're evil, you're a witch, you kill people, you do this, you sexually abuse people, and you try having that attack you every single day, and you see how you would feel. Why would you treat anybody? Why would you treat anybody like that? Especially if you don't even know the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just sheep. Everybody who's on that whole thing now.
Yeah.
Seriously, millions and millions of views and comments and everything. They're sheep. Like when I'm looking at it, I'm just like, humans.
What to do with them?
It's like, come on, were you there? Did you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know, and you're talking. This is how stupid humans are. So I think like people need to have heart, have love. You know, who doesn't make mistakes in life? Everyone makes mistakes in life. Anybody who's listening to this can say they never made a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes in life. You know, and
But
it's
their
like
mistakes
everything-
are not blown up on the internet.
Yeah,
Right.
and imagine if it was, how would you deal with it? You
Yeah.
couldn't deal with it. Now, if anything, I think we should gather a crowd up, all be, hey, give her life back. You know, this is such a sad story. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Tough, huh?
You know, she was going to be Phoebe on Friends before Lisa Kudrow.
Oh, really?
That's what I've heard, yeah.
Oh, wow.
She turned down the job or something.
Are you a Friends fan as well?
Yeah.
Who isn't?
I think everybody's a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time, man. So good. Is it still on Netflix? There was like a thing in 2020. As of 2020, Friends will no longer be on Netflix.
I don't
It
know.
was like a
Maybe.
big scary
Haven't
thing.
seen
I
it.
got
I
really
haven't
worried
actually watched
about
it for a few months, so I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's still
Still
on.
on.
Man says it's still on. Okay. Oh, just not in the US. Oh, thank you, UK government. You've done one thing right.
You haven't got Netflix.
I borrow my brother's,
You have got Netflix.
kind of.
You got Netflix.
Yeah.
Have you watched OA?
Jamie watches the OA. I kind of dip in and out of it.
So messed up.
What's
It
that, eh?
is.
My God.
Apparently, season 2 is like totally different to season 1.
But
right?
everybody was like,
They all
everybody
locked up in season 1.
was like, oh my God, you should watch it. It's so spiritual. You
Yeah,
really
yeah.
like it. And then I
Oh,
just
it's
watched it like a
commercial
horror
spiritual.
movie. I was just like, what
It
they
was so
doing?
scary the whole time. You're just looking at it and you just feel like
I
peeking
get
and
why they said it was spiritual, because it was talking about dimensions and stuff like that.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
dimension
that was-
traveling.
yeah.
Talking of that, I watched Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Fantastic film.
It's the future, no?
It's already now. It's already
Like,
here.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. People
It's
are already
already-
stuck in games. Have you watched it before?
No?
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's the future.
'Cause
Like,
it-
when I watched it, I was just like, this is happening?
Yeah. yeah.
Like,
Literally.
it's so messed up.
Yeah.
Like, the world looks like that, but it's so messed up. Yeah.
Kiz, his roommate's got one of the VR, virtual reality glasses. And the other day he was like, yeah, I'm just in a community meditation call with people over the world right now. And you can see on the screen, and they've got fake names. His name is Scorpion X or something. And then like they're chatting. You can point at people. You can. It's crazy, man.
It'll become more and more real.
It's
It'll
crazy.
become more like that.
The
Yeah.
games are insane.
Yeah.
Like it's
People
it's- yeah,
will no longer live in this reality.
for sure.
Because what's the point? When I put my glasses on,
Yeah, you can be what you want, who you want.
I can feel how I want.
Yeah.
I can have what relationship I
Yeah.
want. I can fly if I want. I can earn money if I
Yeah,
want.
yeah, yeah.
That was
The
a
point
big thing
scoring,
in
yeah,
that
yeah.
movie.
Have you seen the game Ready Player One?
No.
You need to check it out.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
You need to check it out. Yeah.
So do you ever feel like that? Do you ever pop into another dimension and be like, should I just stay here because I can fly? And
Yeah, Grandmaster always tells me come back. Remember to come back. I say, okay.
Okay.
has anyone gone and then like stayed there?
Loads of people do. Yeah, that's how people go unconscious and coma.
Is that what
things
coma
that.
is?
Yeah,
Ah, I
a
was
lot of
gonna
people
say.
do.
Wow.
So it happens often. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, people get lost in meditations as well. Yeah. That's why it needs to be done under guidance.
Mm.
You. What is this?
We were in Pets at Home when we picked him up, and then the lady behind the cashier desk, she said, "Oh, I thought you were holding a teddy bear. I didn't know it actually is alive."
but what is this? Look at this.
Yeah,
That is
He
just,
doesn't look real.
that is a baby, no? Look at this.
it's the cutest.
So cute.
A very fairy
Apart
baby.
from 3 to 6 a.m. Then it turns to something else.
You turn to something else at 3 to 6 a.m., huh?
he sounds like a
dreaming.
dragon
Like-
crying.
He's in different dimensions.
Like, have you seen Game
Yeah.
of Thrones?
Oh my god.
A
When
few episodes I can.
When
He
the
sounds
dragons-
like the dragon on Game
on
of
Game
Thrones.
of Thrones,
at
he
night.
does.
Really?
Yeah.
Squealing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, seriously.
He
Like,
doesn't stop.
you would have
He sleeps
nightmares
in
of
a-
dragons blowing fire or something. Like, really.
It even continued in my dream, and then I actually woke up. It's like, oh, it's
Wow.
Simba.
To the other dimensions, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we call it a day.
Yeah.
We finished the show.
Yes.
Slovenia.
Beautiful. Well, it's so nice to have you.
Oh, 50.
Yeah,
What do you
This
do
is
so
lovely.
sexy?
Yeah,
Thanks,
it was really
guys.
nice. Thanks, Kaina, for joining again.
Yes, I'm always happy to be here.
Guys, if you got any value whatsoever, entertainment, you learned something new. You learned that you're a sheep. I'm only joking.
Well, I don't think the people watching.
Maybe, I guess if
No.
you're watching this, you
No.
probably-
These
Yeah,
are-
let's clarify that.
Yeah.
None of you who are watching are humans, so it's okay. Don't
There
worry.
you go. You're
Apart
not
from
average.
those of you who are going to comment with some hate messages,
That's it. yeah,
you're
yeah.
human.
Yeah. You know who you are.
You're the one.
That's you.
Any negativity in the
Yeah.
comments, you're human
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, that's you.
That's
it's
how you can
okay.
pick them out.
Yeah. So if you've got any value whatsoever, then you know what to do. You make sure you like, you subscribe, and you hit the notifications button. That's the little bell sign, by the way. And we shall see you on the next Creator Show.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Bye.